What's up, Capricorn? Welcome to your November 2020 Creativity Tarot reading. My name is Kaylee Jean, and welcome to my channel. I record these readings for artists, entrepreneurs, and anyone who's working on their personal growth, self-expression, or spirituality in any form. So if those areas of life are important for you, or you're just interested in entrepreneurship and making things happen for yourself, definitely stay tuned. Okay, Capricorn, I was getting a feeling of being sort of shaken up a little bit while I was tuning in for you. And I almost felt like I was seeing like the inner workings of like a clock, or like an old-fashioned clock where they have like all these little tiny parts, but then there was parts that weren't there, and there was voids and little areas where I couldn't see any gears or anything like that. And I feel like this visual kind of, to me at least, what I felt like it was saying was that there's a lot of complexity going on right now in your life, and maybe in the collective around you, in your country or your family or maybe your workplace. There's a lot of moving pieces, and what I want to say to you, Capricorn, is if there's something that you are worried about, or if there's something that you're afraid of, if there's something that you're really hoping for but you're not sure if it's going to happen, the message is that everything is set in place. Everything is happening for a reason, as cliche as that might sound. I feel like you really need to hear this, that everything is actually moving along the way that it needs to. So you can let go of trying to see the whole picture, perhaps, and really focus in on what you can see in detail and what matters to you. I think it's okay for you to focus a little bit more on yourself at this time. And hang on, I'm supposed to be using these cards upright, but some of them are reversed. That was interesting. But yeah, I feel like you need to just recognize that it's okay to focus on you right now. It's okay to not have the answers for other people. I feel like it's natural, if you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, for example, it's natural to want to know the particulars. It's natural to want to know how stuff works, right? Like with the watch vision that I got. It's like, yeah, you can study life and you can try and pick apart everything and analyze it. You can deduct, things that are going on. You can deduce them down to their smallest piece and try and make sense of it, right? But it's going to take you forever. And I don't think you have all the information. So it might be a little bit of a lost cause. So if there's something in your life that is just very complicated, and you're like, I just need to figure this out. I almost feel like the message is like helping you to see around that and recognize that you already are where you need to be, and you're functioning, if you're like in alignment with yourself, you're functioning the way that you need to in order to play your role. Whether this is like in a family situation or relationships. And sometimes the best thing you can do is just develop your own personal disciplines and your own spiritual, like cultivate your own spiritual awareness. That might be through ritual or meditation, or through study and contemplation. It could even be through something scholarly, right? Like not everybody needs to be just, a Zen Buddhist. Some people find great spiritual truth in studying calculus or trigonometry or philosophy or theosophy, right? It's up to you, but I think it's important for you to recognize like what creates a sense of awareness of a greater participating agent in the universe, like a greater understanding of the cosmos on an intuitive level. That's what you want to put your time into right now. You don't really want to put your time into putting out little fires everywhere or trying to influence the collective, it's really, that would be a waste of your time. Or try and take over caring for people too much in your immediate environment. I think it is really about just trusting in what you feel and being really disciplined and committed with your craft as well, and whatever you're working on in business or your career. And just being the best version of that. Like if you're a painter, be the best freaking painter that you can possibly be. That's the focus for you in November. So let's take a look at your cards and we'll get some more information. And I'm also going to get you your Animal Spirit Oracle card. So let's take a look, Capricorn. So we've got Buffalo as your path, crossed by the raccoon. I'm laughing just because the raccoon is definitely a card of kind of coming out of the shadows a little bit and not hiding your intellect or not hiding your ideas or your intentions. But a lot of times that comes with some fear. And the Buffalo card as your path is kind of about, again, like facing fears, walking head first into the storm so that the storm can roll over you and past you. The buffalo is a creature that it possesses that wisdom, right, of going directly into the storm and not being afraid of it. It's a very earthy energy. So what I'm getting is that there is an element of facing fears that's going on right now. There is an element of moving forward in spite of however loud or irritating something might be in your life. Like you might be just choosing to trust your own determination rather than allowing yourself to be dissuaded by stress in your environment. So one thing that I want to say is that it would be really good for you to try and eliminate like excess sources of stress this month in November, because you're going into kind of like a bizarre reality is like what I want to say, but I don't want that to sound negative. I feel like it's more like you just are going into this phase where you could really change. Like I feel like you could really change like a lot of your feelings and your thoughts, and as you go through those changes, you're gonna want to bring them out into the world, whether that's through your business or through having conversations with people. Your new ideas or maybe new beliefs are going to challenge other people around you. But I feel like it's a good thing. Like this is courage, Capricorn. This is like the bravery of trusting yourself above the outside world, which is kind of the definition of being in the world but not of the world. You know, like you want to be in the world as in you're an actor in life. You're not just a passive observer. You're making things happen and you're creating, but you're not of the world, meaning that you didn't absorb all of this like worldly propaganda and then regurgitate that, you know, and that's just like your life path. Like this is about really owning your sovereignty as a creator and possibly even, you know, your deeper truth Like sometimes those things aren't accepted by the world at large. Wow, but your landscape card is thriving. So you are thriving. This is a really good time for you. I just think it's going to be about kind of recognizing that when you are behaving with courage, when you are willing to pursue like your real desires or speak your real truth, that's what creates the energy of thriving, right? Like the real thriving. And so I feel like this is kind of an interesting message. Wow, so you've got the Sun, the Eight of Wands, the Five of Wands. Yep, that makes sense. And the Tower, there's the Tower. I was waiting for that. Since you got the Buffalo card and they both show lightning, right? And you've got the Five of Wands with that. So yeah, wow. But then you have the Nine of Cups and the Three of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the Death card. So one thing that I do get with this reading right away is that there's a lot of variety in what you're experiencing in November. So the first week feels very heartwarming, and there's something kind of powerful and dynamic going on in your life. And I don't know like where you are, Capricorn, in the world, but there's something going on for you personally that it feels like you are succeeding because you have the Sun and the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is action. It's also, I feel in particular with this deck, it's balanced action. And you have the Sun, which is, it's a new dawn. It's a rebirth. It's the sun rising on your life. So it's success. Things are coming in. You're feeling creative. You're feeling capable. Your gifts or your natural talents are kind of on display, perhaps in some way in the beginning of the month. So some of you could be giving like a presentation or sending out an email if you're a business owner online. Or maybe leading a workshop or writing a book or publishing something. But there's something about like balanced action leading to success for you. Maybe it's just having an important conversation with your kids or something like that, But whatever it is that you're doing, it's like the sun is shining on it. It's going to be successful for you. I think the challenge comes in the second week with the Five of Wands and the Tower. So there is some kind of struggle in the second week of November, and I don't want you to feel discouraged by this. I feel like when I look at this, I feel like it could be almost like a power struggle in a way. Some of you might feel, I don't know what you're doing, right? But in the first week of November, it's almost like you're in, some of you could be in a place that you really enjoy, like you might be traveling, or you could be at home if you really love being at home. But then the second week, it's like you're in a different place, whether that's metaphorically speaking or physically. You're like in a different place from the first week. And so I want you to be aware of this, like that there is this kind of shift in the energy, and don't take it as a negative thing because you immediately rise back up again. Like you have some really great cards for the rest of the month. So the second week of November is really the hairiest week that I see here. We do have the new moon in Scorpio on the 14th of November, which for you is symbolically in your 11th house of networking. And it can also be, for colleagues and friends and stuff like that. So you could be having some arguments with people like peers or maybe even friends or like people in your family. But I feel like there's something is being shaken up, and it may be because something so good happened over here with the sun that you're like, okay, now I'm not taking any like shit anymore. Basically, it's like now I'm not ready or I'm not willing to accept something that I was accepting before because I feel like I've moved up a level in life or I've achieved some kind of feeling sensation that now I don't want to take anything less than that, right? So there can be a lot of positive sides to that sun card energy, but at the same time, I think it makes you more clear about what you feel that you want or what you feel you deserve. And then that can create friction when you go back to like normal life, or when you go into a situation where you don't have the conditions that give you that warm, sunny feeling. So there could be some things that need to be worked out. I would just say with this, if it is something that you're dealing with as far as conflict with people in your life, try and be a negotiator about it. With the Five of Wands, I feel like there's going to be people in a tug of war with themselves and each other, but the Tower is also saying that I think you're pretty committed to improving your situation. So if you want to do that whilst hanging on to certain relationships, it's important for you to always, if you're going to be, trying to get something, always, it's a good idea to also give something. And if you feel like it's just you're rebalancing a situation that has been very out of balance for a long time, then maybe you're not going to be able to give as much, but you need to be able to verbalize why you're doing the things that you're doing, or why you feel the way that you feel, in a non-aggressive way as much as possible. So definitely some negotiations, let's say, happening in the second week. But I think you're going to get what you want, because you have the Nine of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is a card traditionally about working together. And it's kind of like the teamwork card in a lot of ways. So if this was like a conflict in your work environment, for example, I feel like everybody on the team is feeling a lot more connected and feeling like these are some compromises and some agreements that people are feeling optimistic about being able to fulfill with each other. And with the Nine of Cups as well, it's like you really are getting what you're asking for. So because of that, you're feeling more generous, right? Like that's the thing, is sometimes when we're in a negotiation with someone, or when we feel that we've been taken advantage of for a while, we can actually forget how genuinely easy it is to be generous with others, because we've been downtrodden and existing in a state of imbalance for so long that we ourselves are so drained that we actually become the stingy ones. And I think it's important to also remember that, and not just blame other people or project all the time. I mean, you could probably be somebody who genuinely has been taken advantage of, or who has been existing in an imbalanced relationship, or maybe you're not being reimbursed well at your work or something like that. And you could have been genuinely being treated a little bit less than fairly, but over time, because of that, it's like you could become soured, And so I think that with this energy, it's kind of about rethinking how you respond once you're seeing that work is being done to remedy the situation, right? Because your natural generosity will flow from you when you're being taken care of. Like that's the magical thing. People don't need to be forced to give, they just need to not be struggling themselves. And the vast majority of people would happily give to charity or support so many different causes, as long as they are doing well themselves, as long as they are able to achieve, work towards their own goals and make their own decisions. So I think this is important for you to remember if you are somebody who feels like you've kind of pinched yourself off a little bit from that side of yourself that is magnanimous and that is like enjoys the process of sharing and being a part of a team. It may be that you just had like a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth from before, but that's being remedied. And for others of you for whom none of that resonates, I think that this pair of cards is really saying that there could be some really viable partnerships coming into your life in the third week of November, and things are just looking really good for you overall. I mean, this is the wish card, and then you have the Three of Pentacles, so it's like your wishes are being granted and you're working super hard to take advantage of those opportunities. So it's just a very successful time. I think that third week of November is going to be very, very successful for you. And I do feel like it's going to be about being aware of like how you're working with others as well. And at the end of the month, you have the Six of Cups and the Death card, which is really interesting because the Six of Cups is the Sun and Scorpio card, and the Death card is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. So you've got a double whammy with a Scorpio person at the end of the month, I feel. And it may be somebody who is in your family, or it could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, but there's a very strong energy of a Scorpio person in your life, and they could be, with the Death card, like the way that he's harvesting the heads is like, this is an old deck. It's a deck from 1929, so I feel like the head harvesting is kind of an interesting, really weird image, but it, in some ways, it almost feels like if you have a Scorpio person close with you, they could be really helping you do some kind of harvest in your life, like helping you gain the wisdom of your experiences, or helping you cut yourself off from the past and move effectively forward. Scorpios tend to be good at that. They tend to be good at helping other people through that. So there could be some help from a Scorpio at the end of the month. This could also just be a time of enjoyment if you have some Scorpio energy in your own chart, or like I said, a Scorpio close to you. You might be just enjoying your time with that person, or with yourself, doing things related to magic, the occult, studying as well. You could be studying numerology or occultism or some form of divination as well, and really feeling like, oh, this is my practice, like this is the tool for me, and just feeling really enlivened by that at the end of the month. But it's that death energy, so it's that kind of dark, deeper, occulted aspect of reality. But the Six of Cups is a happy card, so it's saying it's like a reunion almost with something that takes you to that deeper place within yourself. Your Bob Ross message is, you have to allow the paint to break to make it beautiful. I think this really fits with your Tower and Five of Wands message, okay? I don't want you to fear the break, the paint breaking, because I want you to focus on the bigger picture and trusting that the bigger picture is there, just like what came through in the meditation. Even if you can't see how everything is going to work out, it is. So I hope this has been helpful for you, Capricorn. Please let me know if you have any feedback in the comments. I would absolutely love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and subscribe to notifications so you never miss a reading. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.